Hey guys, so back earlier this year, I decided I wanted to make a goal of mine to focus a lot more heavily on time management. One of my biggest challenges has always been getting distracted on any given day or week. And usually that's because like menial tasks come up or other things pop up that catch my eye and I feel like I need to work on them. And it's always caused a lot of challenges for me, not necessarily for the work that I do, but for my internal stress levels because I always feel like there's something else that I should really be paying attention to, and I don't necessarily focus as much energy regularly or like in a set block on things like important projects or training and stuff like that, personal development, those sorts of things. So I decided earlier this year I wanted to kind of get a better structure around that. And to start with, I decided to pick up a daily, weekly planner. Now, I've had one of these in the past, and I've used one prior, like in previous years, but it never really went anywhere. And I started to realize that a big part of that was because I didn't actually make an effort every day to sit down and use that planner to actually organize my day and then follow it throughout the day. Now, I say that kind of with the caveat that you don't necessarily ever need to buy an actual daily planner of any physical size or structure. You could just write stuff down on a notepad or use a reminders app on your mobile device or use some sort of other tool like some digital app like an Evernote or something else like that to kind of keep track of everything for you. The tool is just a tool. If you don't have a good process, in my opinion, it's not going to work very well. And that's really what I came to realize is that I didn't have a process for kind of keeping up on what I do and how I do it and when I should spend my time. And that was throwing me all over the rails. It's kind of funny. Actually, last night I was talking to my wife about this and I realized that over the last couple weeks, things have been a little chaotic between, kids, our kid being a little bit sick and, business meetings kind of happening all over the place that I ended up not actually following or writing out my schedule every single day and the important things for me on all of those days. And it dawned on me last night that my internal stress level and my just exhaustion when I got up this morning or I was kind of ending the Friday was high simply because I didn't actually make a point of not only writing out and documenting what I needed to do every single day, but kind of more important was I didn't actually plan out what I needed to accomplish so I can look back and say, yep, I got those things done. And that's been a big problem for me, and maybe you too, is since I don't always have a consistent way to know what I accomplished any given day or the previous week and what I was supposed to get done, it's really hard to go back and actually goal myself and feel like I actually got something really meaningful done during that period of time. So what I decided to start kind of doing is following this daily planner and using some of the tools it has to better make sure that I'm keeping track of what I need to get done and then kind of better off I'm kind of using it to follow a schedule throughout the day so that I only follow or I only do those things that I've written out and that I block off certain chunks of time to go back and do like customer follow-up or check messages, things like that. And then once those time periods are done, I really try to kind of hands them off. Be hands off of them. I turn them off, shut them down, whatever I have to do. That's also been a big problem for me is keeping these sort of messaging apps open like email and team messaging and instant messaging or whatever else I have at any given time. That's been a big problem for me because it's almost like this fear of missing out that if I don't keep all these open and I'm constantly watching them and reply back to somebody or to a thread, that I'm somehow going to miss out on an important conversation or subject or whatever else. But I actually have noticed that as I close those tools and leave them alone and don't look at them frequently throughout the day or at all really in some cases and just put my head down and do my work, I end up feeling so much better at the end of the day. And in reality, I didn't actually miss anything. If somebody needed something from me, they would have messaged me. And with a lot of the Teams apps that are out there these days, or kind of team-based messaging, it's persistent chat, kind of like email. It's just there, and I can go back and respond to it whenever I need to. So it's actually allowed me to kind of flip things a bit and let my colleagues know that if they need to get a hold of me, just call my cell phone or text me and I'll get back to them right away if it's urgent. Otherwise, if they message me, I just reply back when I have time. And it's actually kind of subconsciously set this sort of standard that I'm available and I'll get back to you when I'm available again at some other point. And it could be 10 minutes, it could be 2 hours. But for them, they kind of know that I am going to reply, and that's key, is you do have to actually follow up on that stuff. But my colleagues know that I'm going to reply. It just may not be right away. It'll be when I actually have time to do it. And so long as I keep that consistent, they can always kind of trust that I will actually get back to them. The hard part is if you don't reply back to people, then you start to build some distrust. People don't necessarily believe that you will reply back to them, and that can lead to some other problems, and you just kind of want to avoid that. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. I'll do some more videos in the future with some more detailed information, but I wanted to pass that along. It's been a big help for me, and hopefully I'll catch up with you guys soon. Cheers.